Good night. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharb. I am here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. So tonight I have an immigration update. If you have been watching the news, you know that they are currently talking a lot about the reconciliation bill. Remember, that's a bill regarding budget, spending, and revenue. Right now, that is for the purpose of improving infrastructure, social programs, healthcare, and guess what? Immigration is also included in that. And I have an update where they have stated, so the Democrats who are pushing this have stated that they are going to be sending this, their new proposal for protection of certain undocumented immigrants back to the Senate parliamentarian, and they have come up with a plan C. Hi there, the plan C. So I'm going to give you a little rundown on what happened in the past, just in case you were not aware of it before. And then I'm going to tell you what is happening now. So remember, a few weeks ago, we talked about, so the first proposal, which we call Plan A, and that was to provide a path to citizenship, a legal permanent resident to certain undocumented immigrants. Those included TPS holders. TPS holders are those who are here on temporary protected status because their country is unstable or dangerous, or the conditions are really bad, such as Haiti and Venezuela, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Those are examples of countries that whose citizens can obtain TPS under certain circumstances. Also, dreamers, those who came here as undocumented minors, essential workers like farmers and healthcare workers, or other types of essential workers, especially during the pandemic, of course, anybody who meets that criteria would be able to obtain a permanent residence, a path to permanent residence. However, that was struck down. It was struck down, denied by the Senate parliamentarian. This is an individual whose role is to review these types of budgetary bills, to make sure that they do whatever provisions are going through the bill do in fact fit the criteria of the bill, that it is related to revenue or spending. And so she struck it down because she said that this Plan A, this plan proposal to provide certain undocumented immigrants a path to citizenship was not budgetary nature. Actually, it was a type of bill that should be considered by the vast majority of Congress and not just the simple majority. Now, let me simplify this or break this down a little bit more for you. So the reconciliation bill, the Democrats see it as an opportunity to really push through immigration reform, because the reconciliation bill does not require 60 majority vote. What it requires is a simple majority. That means 50 with a tiebreaker of the vice president, who's Democratic right now, Kamala Harris, and that is enough to push the reconciliation bill forward. And so with many, if not with a majority of the Democrats, or being on the side of some sort of meaningful immigration reform, they see a real chance to make a positive change in immigration, to be able to fix the broken immigration system. And so that is why one of the main reasons why they're really trying to push immigration changes through to this bill. Because otherwise, if it requires more than the simple majority, then they're not going to get the support of the Republicans. And right now, there is some infighting with the Democrats about what needs to be included in this bill, which also includes immigration. But they are trying to work out a deal, and they are negotiating, and there is still hope that the Democrats will band together and get this immigration reform through. Now that is where we go back to the proposal. Now that they came up with a plan, that plan A, for example, they were pushing it through, and the Senate parliamentarian rejected it, right? And then they came up with a plan B, and the Senate parliamentarian also rejected it. So for the plan B, they were saying they wanted to update a certain registry. That registry allows anybody who's been in the country before 1972, not anybody, but certain undocumented immigrants who have been in the country before 1972 to be able to do adjustment of status. However, remember, it's 1972, way back in the past. Anybody who qualifies for this, or most people who qualifies for this, have already done it. And so the argument here among the Democrats was, well, why don't we just update that date from 1972 to 2010, for example? However, they submitted that proposal to the Senate parliamentarian, and she rejected it. Again, saying that, well, it's still not related to the budget in the way that it should. As a matter of fact, it would create more severe consequences, because it's such a significant legislation, and it's not primarily budgetary. And so at this point, they came up with Plan C. And there were a lot of talks about what Plan C should be. The Plan C says that if you've been in the country before 2011, then you could get parole, so temporary relief. So the difference here with Plan C is that it does not include the ability to get permanent residence. So it just provides temporary relief and a work permit. So it's not what we wanted, which is frustrating. But there is some need for relief, because there are millions of individuals here who are working under the table. They are working jobs that are maybe even present dangerous conditions, but they're left with no choice because they have to support themselves and their families, and they have to send money back home. And so the work permit would open up more options for individuals who are given temporary relief here. And so that is going to be pushed through to the Senate parliamentarian again. And so since it is not as significant and it doesn't provide permanent path to citizenship, the Democrats are hoping that she will consider it differently than she did for Plan A and B. And so it will be going, it has not been submitted as of now, but it is anticipated that within the next few days, it is going to be sent to the Senate parliamentarian to make a decision. Now, some people are getting fed up, and they're like, why don't the Democrats just push it through anyway? Because the Senate parliamentarian, while her role is to make sure that all the provisions do fit the bill, it's not necessarily she does not have absolute authority to say yay or nay. And so many individuals, immigration advocates, are really pushing to bypass her. If she says no again, just bypass her and put it in the bill and move it forward. And we will have to see what they do. I am seeing a real hesitation where they don't want to do that. The Democrats do see it as extreme, and so they're fighting that. But who knows at this point what they'll do. You do have some diehard advocates who are basically saying do or die. And so we'll have to see whether they push this through. If it does get pushed through and it is approved as a Plan C where you get parole, that means you get permission to stay here even temporarily. You get the ability, you get protection from deportation, and you get the ability to apply for the work permit. So surveys are showing that possible 7 million undocumented immigrants will qualify from this form of relief. And so while it is definitely not what we want, it is not the permanent immigration reform that so many individuals deserve. At least it would buy some people time to be able to get their work permits, get jobs that they want, be able to be treated fairly in the United States until a more permanent solution can be granted to them. So I don't see any questions, but I want to remind you that I'm also here to answer your questions. So feel free to put those questions in the comments and I will answer those questions. I just wanted to give you this immigration update tonight. I'm keeping an eye on it. And as soon as something meaningful happens, I am going to let you know. So I'm going to watch over the next few days to see whether the Senate parliamentarian approves it and then how they're going to move forward from here. I don't see any questions tonight. And so I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to, but I will be back tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, where you will be able to put your questions in the comments and ask your questions. And I will come with a good topic to talk about as well. Thanks so much for the love. Okay, so I see one here. Does the new bill affect those that have already started the process to adjust their status? So great question. Thank you for asking it. And it has reminded me that a part of this new bill is also, the provision in the bill is also to allocate more immigrant visa numbers to speed up the processes. So to speed up adjustment of status, to speed up consular processing, those who are outside of the U.S. The way that they're proposing to do this is to recapture unused immigrant visa numbers. So only immediate relatives of U.S. citizens don't need this. But any other immigrant, they're going to need to be assigned an immigrant visa number. And so they're looking for, as far back as 1992 in some cases, to capture these unused immigrant visa numbers and to be able to allocate them to the current cases to reduce the backlog and get things moving forward. So that could be one positive. If this is passed with the bill, this could be a positive effect of this provision, but it depends on whether that is pushed through. If your paperwork has reached the visa center and your petitioner has died, where do you go from there? So it could very well disqualify you. There is what's called humanitarian humanitarian reinstatement. And so if you do have someone who's willing to step in and submit an affidavit of support for you, and you do have a sufficient basis to still justify you getting the permanent residence, even though your relative has passed away, there may be a chance. And that's where you'd have to schedule the consultation for us to determine whether this will work for you. So I am going to head out for the night. Thanks so much for your questions. I hope that the information here was useful. I'm going to continue to give you updates, and I'll be here tomorrow night at around 9:30 p.m. to take your questions and talk about another topic that I think you need to know about. So thanks, guys. Have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. So I see here, West Indian Beauty, can your sibling be your affidavit of support? Yes, so a sibling can definitely serve as a sponsor for the affidavit of support. Now, if you are in need of determining whether you qualify for humanitarian reinstatement, you should schedule a consultation, because remember, the information I'm giving here is not personal legal advice. It is general information. So if you are listening here, you want to schedule a consultation, go to the link in my bio. It's going to take you directly to the website where you'll see a contact form, you'll see a chat where you can chat with the scheduling coordinator, or you can call right now. She is still available up until 11 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so have a good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Hope you bring your questions. I'll bring my topic. See you tomorrow, or speak with you in a consultation.